We're here with Lieutenant Rich Goerling of the Hillsborough Police Department, a mindfulness trainer and a leading advocate of bringing mindfulness to the police. Rich, tell us a little bit about what you're up to with your mindfulness work nowadays.
Well, Jim, we're building upon our mindfulness-based resilience training that we piloted in 2013 and 2014. We're continuing that work. In August of last year, our research team at Pacific University was awarded a federal grant from the National Institutes of Health. It's actually a community work or community violence reduction grant. And we got funding for a 2-year study to look at mindfulness-based resilience training, which is our 8-week training model to train police officers in the Portland metropolitan area and take a look at health and wellness measures like cortisol and other self-reported stress and sleep and just the traditional things you take a look at with health and wellness. But we're also looking at the impact of 8 weeks of mindfulness training on social cognitive bias among police officers. And we think this is a real exciting area to step into and research and take a look at how we can begin researching ways to effectively train police officers just to understand their own humanity and how their own experience, their own socialization impacts, even unconsciously, some of the decisions that they make in the field.
Wow, that's really critical work, so important to our readers, and as you know from our previous discussion, work that we support tremendously. Can you tell us a little bit about the emerging work, new things you might be getting into in 2016?
Well, absolutely, Jim. So just this weekend, completed training the very first weekend resilience immersion training. It's a mindfulness retreat for police officers, but we don't necessarily use the term retreat, mostly because a lot of the bureaucracies in law enforcement won't fund sending an officer to a retreat, but they will fund sending them to an immersion training. So a little bit of fun politics there, but we can work with that. So we spent about 24 hours of training crammed in between Friday afternoon and Sunday afternoon for about 21, 22 police officers. And it was a remarkable experience, really focusing our training on just the experience of mindfulness practice with a significant philosophical emphasis on authenticating a warrior ethos that is about compassion and awareness, and really just working through a lot of mindfulness exercises that cultivate just the compassion that's present, but perhaps due to trauma or other occupational stressors, just really kind of gets very deep down within the police officer. Absolutely remarkable retreat. Some veteran police officers who'd experienced quite a bit of occupational stress and trauma throughout their careers came, and I think they walked away with some really substantial experience as well as some skills that they can continue to practice. This particular model of the weekend retreat is something that we're going to be cultivating throughout the year. We have one tentatively scheduled in the spring down in the San Francisco Bay Area, another tentatively scheduled out in the southeastern United States in North Carolina later this spring or summer. And we're looking at other venues to bring this kind of to train in mindfulness.
Okay, we had a little glitch there. We dropped the signal out. But what I think we can do is, can you just pick up? We're going to go back to you in a second. Can you pick up where you started talking about the Bay Area and then I think South Carolina, and just end from there, and then we'll get our editor to just put that in place, and you can just pick up at whatever point you're ready from now on.
So we have another resilience immersion training scheduled in the San Francisco Bay Area in March. We're looking at another potential training in North Carolina after that, and potentially in Massachusetts sometime between now and the fall. So we really think that this particular model of training is a very intensive immersion into mindfulness, and it's a great way to resource police officers for resiliency and to also reach police leadership to get them to understand the power of awareness or developing awareness and well-being through mindfulness practice. In addition to that, Jim, we're looking at developing similar retreats for police leadership. So specifically to bring mid-level and senior police leaders to a retreat like that with a focus on mindfulness training, but also sort of a flavor of leading others and leading self. And just with the leadership focus to allow police leaders to step into sort of their own space and cultivate their own awareness that can deeply impact how they lead other people.
That's really inspiring work, Rich. How would you like to see Mindful helping to support that work in 2016?
Jim, I think I'm just very grateful for Mindful's presence, just carrying on the conversation surrounding mindfulness and bringing, really fantastic information to people that might otherwise have access to it. So I would say continue the dialogue, and additionally, maybe stepping into some of the arenas of resiliency as it relates to public safety or high stress occupations, and perhaps having some additional articles on mindfulness in policing, mindfulness in firefighting, mindfulness in emergency medicine, and just continue to expose all of us to the really critical issues out there and how important mindfulness practice can be to healing community, not just individuals, but beyond that, to looking at community resiliency and the ways that mindfulness can reach that goal.
Rich, thank you so much.